Hey y'all. So here we are again, another YouTube video, because we're gonna see how this works for multiple reasons. It's Unique and YouTube are kind of coming together, which is really, really exciting. Please excuse any of the disaster going on behind me. I'm trying to get organized here. It's been kind of one of those days, like for real. So I wanted to talk about something that is extremely important to me, and I'm hoping that by sharing this, it helps somebody. It could help one person, it could help 10 people, it could help 1,000 people. I don't know. I just hope that it does help someone. Okay. I started my college career in 1995, fresh out of high school. Took the summer off. I was like, yeah, I'm going to college. And I chose to go to college because I made a promise to somebody that I was going to go to school. I was going to make something of myself and I was going to be successful and I was going to make lots of money and, all this stuff. Well, that person, unfortunately, sorry, I got a notification. But that somebody special, unfortunately, I lost him. Not because of a breakup or because we grew apart or anything like that. I lost him in a very, very traumatic car accident. It was rough. It was rough for a long time. Not gonna lie. Post-traumatic stress disorder, y'all, is very real, and it is very hard to come back from something like that without the proper support channels. I had my mom and dad, and I will tell you, my mom and dad were great. I had my grandmother, I had my aunts and my uncles, and it was wonderful, but there was still something missing. There was something that they could not give me. So when I graduated from high school, almost 2 years after Brian died, I was going to college. I was going to keep my promise to him. Halfway through my first semester as a straight A student, I dropped out. I wasn't ready. I needed to deal with the emotions and the abandonment that I felt losing Brian, because Brian was my everything. At 16, you guys, 16 years old, I found the love of my life. So I turned to alcohol. I turned to drugs. Yeah, me. And it was a very, very, very trying time. I didn't care about life anymore. I just did not want to feel. I didn't want to feel that hurt. I didn't want to feel that pain. I didn't want to feel that loss because it was that, it was that hard. It was that painful. It was that saddening and depressing for me. And of course I was still dealing too with, the disfiguration that, that was caused in the accident with my face. My self-esteem went from being up here to literally, like, it exploded. I didn't have any self-esteem anymore. And I wanted to find that. I wanted to feel again. And at that point, I didn't care what I felt. I just didn't want to feel pain. So I went that route and I found myself in a situation that I didn't think I was going to be able to get out of. And my mom and dad were there. They pulled me out of that bad situation. They got me clean. They got me sober. And I joined the Army. That was my second dream since I was a little girl because of my Uncle Pat, my Uncle Scott. Both of them served in the Army. Thanks, guys. You guys are amazing. My grandfather served in the Navy. So patriotic, military-minded blood, and genes and cells and brain matter all flow through me, coming from a long line of military veterans. So I did that. Well, guess what? I broke my leg. First week in training. It was great. No, because then I was med boarded out, because I had an existing prior to service injury. So I had the rod removed, thinking I was going to be able to go back in. Nope. Something else was going on with my body that permanently disqualified me from going back into the military, for a minimum of 2 years. So I gave up. So I worked a bunch of odd and end jobs. Back then, minimum wage was like $4.15, $4.25, something like that. And I just had to live. I had to get my bills paid, live. I had to do something. You know, and I screwed around. I'm not going to lie. I screwed around for a long time. And then I met my ex-husband, who is now retired from the United States Army. When we were married, living in Georgia, I decided I was going back to school. So, dropped out in 95. I did not go back to school until 2007, when my ex-husband was deployed for the third time. I went back to school. I started my associates in marketing. You know, business administration is such a wide field. So I decided, hey, look, I can narrow it down and get into marketing, because I was considering advertising, going into advertising, specifically advertising for children, you know, toys and books and clothes and stuff like that. So I started school. I was making really good grades. I was an AB student. You know, dealing with a lot with my husband being gone, my ex-husband now, but with him being gone, and knowing the dangers that he was facing over there, I knew I still had to, again, I had to live. I had to do something to better myself, to make things work, you know? Unfortunately, in 2008, my husband and I divorced. My ex-husband, sorry, I keep saying that. My ex-husband and I divorced. So I took a hiatus from school. In 2010, I got pregnant with Ayana, moved back to Virginia from California, and I was making $7.25 an hour working at Radio Shack then. And I just knew there was something more. I was able to do one class in 2011 through Savannah Tech in Georgia, but then they didn't offer any other classes online. So I was like, what am I going to do? I have a baby. I can't make $7.25 an hour raising a baby. That just doesn't work. No, it doesn't. So I went back to school, took that one term, and I ended up having to have neck surgery when Ayana was 8 months old. So I was going to school while I was healing from a cervical fusion. Multiple traumas to my neck. I was in a car accident when I was pregnant with Ayana, and that kind of sent my neck issues kind of over the edge. So I was still going to school wearing a neck brace, and I'm just like, okay. And then I took more time off to try to get my life right from school, and I went back to school in 2012. I was like, you know, I've got to get this done. And I couldn't find a school that had an associate's in marketing. I had to finish my associates. To me, it was very important because I felt like I was giving up. I can't teach my girls that giving up is an option. I can't. So I went to Strayer University, and I met with Ashley Castle, who is now a dean for Strayer University. She's down in North Carolina. She convinced me to go back to school. Okay. I went back to school in 2012. I finished my degree, my associate's degree, in 2013. I crossed the stage on Ayana's 3rd birthday. Yeah, she was 3. Aoife was barely a year old. You know, my bestest gal pal, Deidre, and her husband were there supporting me the whole way when I crossed that stage. Let me tell you, it was amazing. I graduated with, I think it was a 3.87 GPA or 3.86, something like that. And I was proud of myself, a single mom with 2 kids at this point. Now, mind you, during my associates working at Strayer, I had Aoife. So I was a nursing college student, nursing my kid, going to school. I was also working, you know, doing all this stuff. I graduated with my associates. I took some time off, and I was like, you know what? I need to get my bachelor's. So I went back to school again. And I went back to school, I believe it was in 2014. I graduated in June of 2016 with my bachelor's. Okay, now this is right before Hurricane Matthew hit. This is before my entire world fell apart. But I will tell you that when I started working on my bachelor's, I had 0 experience in property management and leasing. But I took a gamble on myself because I have the smarts, I have the knowledge, I have the education. And I applied to work at the property where I lived with the girls. And I got the job. And I made decent money. So I did that. Graduated in June. My assistant property manager, Christina, hey girl, she was also working on her bachelor's, and we were kind of like each other's support group. You know, we were like, hey girl, you got this. Hey, you got an A on that paper. Woo woo. We really built each other up. And Rachel, our property manager, she was the same way. She was like, man, I don't know how y'all do it. I couldn't do it, but more power to y'all. You know, so she built us up too, and it was amazing. So I finished my bachelor's, okay, in June of 16, and then October, the hurricane happened, wiped out everything. I was even running a direct sales business at the time, and I lost $2,700 in inventory. Didn't know how I was going to bounce back. Ayana was in kindergarten. You know, Aoife was in pre-K. So just all this stuff 30 days after the hurricane. Brianna was in a car accident. She was driving my car because she had taken the girls to ballet, and she got rear-ended by an F-250. Sitting at a stoplight, she was perfectly stopped, and this guy was like, decided he wanted to kiss my butt of my car. And my girls were in the car, and Brianna was in the car, and I was scared. Thankfully, all three of them were okay. But that is like a mother's worst nightmare. You know, so I was on break from school, so I was able to deal with that. I was able to deal with what happened with the hurricane. And then we moved to Fargo in February of 17. I got a phone call from Dean Castle. She was the campus dean of Virginia Beach at the time. She's like, hey girl. She's like, so when are you coming back to school for your master's? I was like, girl, I am not doing that. No, my bachelor's was enough. I'm not doing it. She's like, look, you live in North Dakota. Here's a scholarship. I said, okay, I'm sold. I'm going back to school. So I started back to school in April of 2017. Okay, since then, I worked at the post office, still managed to maintain good grades. Very difficult, mind you, but I still managed to do it. I began my career with Younique, okay? I got married, had 2 extra kids added to our family, which is amazing. I absolutely love my bonus kids. And now here we are. Now, in between all of this stuff going on, in 2015, while I was still in school, I lost my dad, Rick, in March. I lost my Mima. She was my best friend. She was a second mom. She was my gram. I lost her in April. And then in September of 2015, I lost my son. I was 18 weeks pregnant and I lost my son. And I just wanted to give up. I wanted to say to hell with this career path, to hell with, you know, going back to school, to hell with finishing my degree. I don't care anymore. Because 3 of the most major people in my life were gone. And even though my son was not born yet, it was still a very tremendous loss. A loss that no mother should ever, ever have to feel. But I knew then that I had to keep going. I had to show Ayana and I had to show Aoife that you can't give up. Giving up is not an option no matter what the hell is going on in your life. Giving up is not an option. And now I registered for graduation with my master's. You guys, I'm carrying a 3.9 GPA. And the only reason why it's a 3.9 instead of a 4.0 is because my health kind of took a turn for the worst. And I did not get an assignment turned in on time for one of my classes. And I ended up with a B instead of an A. But you know what? It's a B. I finished that class with a B. Okay, does it suck? Yeah, it kills me. And you can ask my girl Marie and you can ask my girl Lindsay, who are like sisters to me, and they will tell you, she thought she failed. Yes, I did, because I got a B. I'm not B material, I'm A material. But I had to look at everything that was going on in my life at that time and say, a B was my best at that time. And now I'm making A's again. So that keeps my GPA up. I'm not a 4.0, and that's okay because life was like, you need a break. You got things going on, girl. But don't give up. Don't quit. Don't lay down and let life bulldoze you. And I didn't. I have nerve damage. And I find out tomorrow where that nerve damage is and how excessive it is. You know, and it's still, my girls are like, Mommy, why don't you just take a break from school? Because I can't. My mom, no matter our relationship and how crazy and wonky it can be at times, my mom taught me to never quit. She taught me to never, ever, ever give up, no matter how bad I want to. I got these 2 little girls, and now I've got 2 extra kids that are watching me keep going, keep pushing. And I will tell you what, all 4 of my kids have stepped up and they've started helping me here because they see I'm tired, they see I'm in pain. So they kind of alleviate some of that stress because they're watching me be successful. And that little extra support, my husband does laundry because I'm not doing it. I don't like doing laundry. He does. But that is what it is. You know, but our oldest, she's 12. She helps me in the kitchen. When I ask her, hey, can you help me with this and empty the dishwasher? She's like, yeah, okay, not a problem. When I'm cooking dinner, she's like, hey, what can I do? What can I do to help you? Excuse me. Upper respiratory infections suck. You know, it's our son. He's like, hey, you good? And sometimes he's like, nah, I'm not helping. And it's okay. I got 2 other children. It's okay. But all 4 of them help in some capacity, as does my husband. And we are one well-oiled machine, even though sometimes we get kind of dry. We become the Tin Man. We need a little bit of oil. Got to grease up them joints, you know, but we work together. We work as a family unit. And I will tell you, I haven't been more blessed in my life in a long, long time. My husband is absolutely flipping amazing. He's probably going to kill me because I keep making that reference, but whatever. He's amazing. He's good to me. He's good to my girls. He's good to all 4 of our kids. And then you got Crazy Pooch right there. What are you getting into, Pikachu? And then we've got 2 amazing dogs too. But that's not where I'm going with this. My point is, no matter what your struggles are, when you decide to lay down and quit, remember there's people watching you. Really. Do you want to be known as the person who quit? Teach your kids or your nieces and nephews or even your grandbabies that, you know, I couldn't do it anymore, so I quit. That's showing them that they can quit too. Let's not teach our younger generations that it's okay to quit. Let's teach our generations that through blood, sweat, tears, dedication, perseverance, we got this. They got this. No matter what this is, it's up to us to show them the path that is wide open for them. What are you doing, Brutus? So graduating in June and crossing the stage in DC is going to be a very joyful and celebratory event, and it's going to bring me to tears. Because in 1993, I made that one promise to somebody who was my world that started, no, he showed me what it was like to be loved, to be supported, to be lifted up. And I'm grateful because my husband now, he does those same very things. We're a team. And I'm grateful for my experiences with Brian, and I'm grateful for everything that he gave me. And even though everybody could be like, you know, oh, well, it was just a promise. He's gone. He's not going to know. He's not, but I am. I made a promise to my girls that I wasn't going to give up. I got to keep that promise. I made a promise to myself that I was going to keep pushing forward no matter what. So my recommendation is if you guys are looking at something, whether it's you're looking for a promotion, looking for a raise, going back to school, starting your own direct sales business, whatever your heart wants to do it. You're going to be scared. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to want to give up, but don't. Because I promise you, you've got a support out there that is going to be unlike anything you have ever seen. Okay? I took the plunge with Younique in 2017, and I will tell you, even when I haven't done much for my business, my yesties check on me. They're like, girl, what are you doing? They're like, I'm not your boss. I'm your support, and I'm going to need you to get up, and I'm going to need you to get it together. Okay? That is more than I could ever get in corporate America, too. You know, I have amazing support. My in-laws, my family, just my friends. the support that I get from Strayer, the support that I get from my guesties, the support I get from Unique, it is top notch. They have all come together as a community to remind me that I am stronger than whatever happens to me. Because it's not about me anymore. It's about my 4 beautiful children. It's about my amazing husband. It is about my business. It is about buying a house. It is about buying a bigger vehicle. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, a family of 6 and my CRV, we don't mix. So it's about rising above or even burning down and rising from the ashes to become stronger and better than I was yesterday. It's just like for you guys. If you're burned out, burn yourself down to the ground because you've worked so hard. Let that happen. Don't stay there. Rise up. Come up out of those ashes. Be the beautiful phoenix that I know each and every one of you is. You guys are all amazing. No matter what life throws at you, be stronger than those obstacles. Be smarter. Be wiser. So I'm going to get off of here. Thank God I wore Epic Waterproof because otherwise I'd have mascara like way down here somewhere because this has been kind of sad. But it's to prove a point. We're all strong no matter what life throws at us. Okay? If you need somebody to support you, somebody that's going to be there to say, hey, I see you in that hole. Here's my hand. Let's pull. You're not going to pull me down. I'm going to pull you up. We're going to work together. So, if you need me, you know where to find me. If you have anything that you'd like to add, any comments that you may have, any stories that you have to share, let me know. Okay? Just let me know. We all have a story. It's just a matter of whether or not we're ready to tell it. Till next time, have an amazing day.